man cavers, and here we are at Woolpit Rally. We have a lovely position up the top of the hill so we can see the entire rally. So I think we need to have a look around to see what's here. Well, what better place to start than at my stand with the Amanco. Here we are. We have our Amanco and our little Goodwin pump. We have a decent water temperature here. There we go. We're about 85 degrees. Yesterday she was warm. Pinned that gauge up to 100 and we had a roar and boil, so the gauge is working. We have the Bernard. I bought the little Sandust just as a static display. There she sits. Absolutely marvellous. And then we're coming on to some more fancy stuff. Another Amanco with a little mill there. There we go, very nice. This has got to be one of my favourites, Little Perkins. That is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that a little beauty? Look at that. Little Fairbanks. And then we've got this beautiful little jumbo. Marvellous. Right, let's scale the fence and we'll have a look down this row, see what we have here. We have another Amanco. We have another 6-horse Fairbanks. Now if you want some interesting engines, Woolpit is where to come. A little stall full of junk here. We'll go around the people. Oh my word, let's come over and look at the cars quickly. There you go, a Morris Million, and yes it is a Morris Million. The colour was factory for the 1,000th anniversary of the Morris. There we go. Absolutely lovely. So yes, there's the details of the Morris Million. Pause if you want to read that. Excellent. Right, we'll have a look at the cars in a minute. Back over to the engines. The crowds have subsided. There we go. We'll have a little walk down and look at these engines. There's Dan. He's got his big Bamford. There we go. Note Dan's Bamford. Note his cooling tank. There we are. Now if you want a Ruston, that's what you call a Ruston. These PB10 I do believe. Isn't she a beast? Followed by a little Lister D. There has to be one running a little line shaft, look. How interesting is that, look, running a line shaft with a little whetstone. We have a lovely little lump there. Little Hobbs, that is gorgeous, running the nice little pump. How you doing? Big Amanco, she's the 4-horse. She's running the Amanco pump as well. What a lovely display that is. Here we have Dave escaping the camera. He's got his Amanco as well. Running a couple of things, look, running a mill one end, pump t'other. Absolutely gorgeous. There's Sean, he's got his pump again. You see this at Stratset Strumpshaw last week. I reckon he couldn't be bothered to unload another one out of the van. Bamford, tulip top. How you doing? Very nice indeed. There you go, there's the Bamford. Marvellous. And then we have a nice little one here and all. A little Detroit. 1 horsepower from 1910. Gorgeous. Right. We'll pause and be back when we get to the other engines down the bottom of the hill. No, sod it. We'll walk down. We'll do the cars, look. We'll have a look at some of the cars as we meander our way down. The MGs, there's a gentleman there taking a picture with an old medium format camera, look. I bet he's going to get some lovely period photographs. The Riley, the Austin, little old sit-up and beg there. Oh, we have a Zephyr Estate. That's an unusual beast. When do you ever see a Zephyr Estate anymore? There we are. And a very early Morris on the end here. Big Riley. Very nice indeed. Right. Tell you what, I shan't pause. We'll just have a meander and I'll have a little rabbit on. There we go. Oh, there's some scale models on a trailer here. These weren't here yesterday, so I'm glad I filmed there today. So if you want to see scale models of tractors and machinery, this is the thing. Let me come in the back here. There we go. Look at the detail on these models, look. Just look at the detail that have gone into making them. Look at that. The detail gone into making these is phenomenal. Look at the Fortune. Look at the tractor. Look at that. The combine, the Matador. There's a Super Major, a Nuffield, Massey Harris up there. This stuff is phenomenally scaled. Really goodly scaled. There we go, all on a little trailer. Look at that. Phenomenal detail. Right, we'll go round the back and we'll have a look at the engines. There we go, we've got to have another look at these. Detail on these things is phenomenal. The gentleman was telling us it took him 18 months to build the combine, and I can quite believe it. Detail on it. You would seriously think these are full-size tractors. Look at the detail. Absolutely phenomenal. Even the diesel injector pump is scaled. Absolutely great. Right. There's the Super Major. She's a good one. She's a big old tractor. She's nice. She is nice. Ah, this is the magazine I was telling you guys about, the online forum. There's a new magazine out. There we go. You can scan that QR code. Because Stationary Engine magazine has now stopped, but some engine enthusiasts have bought this monthly magazine out as well. So yes, feel free to look at that. We'll just have a look at these engines here, the van boards, bits and pieces. Thank you. I'm going to hold you out and we're just going to have a walk up the engines. Then we'll have a look at this working display I've got on my left hand side. Let me come in actually, so I haven't got to walk around people. There we are. What a lovely old cast sign, look. Waterworks, look, there we are. Drill bit head there, lathe chuck, Some odds and sods for sale here. Look, some handles, bits and pieces. Look at these little models down here. And this beautiful Rustin OK. There's Jeff and Liam. There's Mr. Rusty Relics. This is the one you got for sale, isn't it, Liam? Yep, so this one is the one what's up for sale. If you do message Liam and he hasn't got back to you, bear with him. It's rally season and it's busy times, so he's not ignoring you. He will get to you eventually. It's just rally season, and with working and that, it takes time. Look at this for a handmade model. Isn't that beautiful? Look at them. You remember the little odds and sods engine? There's another one there. Right, what I was trying to explain to you guys the other day about the online forum, there is the online forum, Vintage Engine Enthusiast. Very good, you can write your own articles and put in there. Very laid back, very, very good. There it is, all the details you need. Marvellous stuff. Yes, so all engine related content, write your own articles, it is very interesting. There we have a BAM board. Sorry, Paul. That's Jeffrey's BAM board. We have another Rustin there. Is that one SP, SP1, whatever they call them, SP1s I believe. PS, sorry, that's it, PS. There we are. Oh, here we have a nice little display here, look. Someone's got all the bolt cages hang up and the electronics. A little generator all running on a Petter M. What a lovely little display someone's put on here, look. Look at that. Home built charging and lighting board from a scrap box. There we are. Very nice indeed. Right, we'll dangle up here and have a look at the other engines. There we go. There's some more odds and sods for sale in here. Look, what have we got in here for sale? Oh, we have lathe bits, Morse tapers, micrometers, bits and pieces. Hello! And then we have the old Fairbanks. That's a nice engine, isn't it? There they sit, look, there they sit. Quite alright. Pay me later. Right, some more bits and pieces here. I see some Lister D carbs, Jap carbs, a battery, some air filters. Oh, a little pulley there. Oh, there's the glove. I was looking for the glove. He don't have the Weather Challenge Wellington boot out this week. The weather boot. Your weather boot. You ain't got it out. Right. Oh, I need to look at this. Hello mate, how you doing? There we go. I need to look how this is set up to run on gas, so I can do the same for my little Stewart. But that does not run right on petrol, my little Stewart. That water dance away, and I'd like to get it running like that. Whether I ever can, I don't know. That is beautiful. And have you seen this contraption round here, guys? To sharpen bandsaw blades. There we go, look. Obviously he's got this one geared down, but you have a file in here, look. And if you look every so often, that'll feed, there you go. It spread one of the teeth and it stopped. So what that does is it feeds the teeth of the blade through and sharpens them one at a time with this file. Isn't that an interesting machine? There you go, look, Foley, Minnesota, USA. Beautiful. Look at that. Lovely little thing. Right, we have some plants. I don't know why there's plants. Now that's what you call a display. There's a water pipe with a funnel up the top. And that water run all the way down this pipe. And come out here, look. That is extremely interesting how they got that right up there on a pole, 15 foot high, Ocean. Well, we have some water pumping here, look. Well, that's very interesting. Never seen a pump what do that before. There we go. Let me come round this side so we aren't in the shadows. There we are. All powered with a little pump. And a bound board, tool at top. Very nice. The lady's doing her crochet. Here we have another, a Manco. Can't beat him. Look at that. Gorgeous. Another small little Ruston. That is a little beauty, isn't it? Look at that. Listen how quiet they are. The noisiest bit about that is the flick of the mag. Gorgeous thing. We have a gardener here. Very nice. Again, so quiet. Economy. And then we have Mr. Neves Ruston. Again, gorgeous engine. Look at that. What have we got up here? These two not running, but they have been. Absolutely lovely. There we go. And then we have another engine, a little petter up this end, driving a Ruston pump. There we go. Gorgeous. Right, we have a man here working a big old dozer. Whoop that down. Let's have a look at him. Well, it's a lovely old pickup truck, look. That is a really nice pickup truck. I do like that. It's quite alright. Look at that. What a lovely old truck. Thank you. Still got some of the original sign writing. Here's the big old dozer. There we go. I bet Matt from Diesel Creek will like this lot. He'll be back in a minute and we'll see him. That thing there is a 4-cylinder petrol. There we go. What a machine. He lowers it down. There we go. He lowers and it scoops. There you go. He's scooping and scraping that. It's like a grader of some sort. I say, I'm sure Matt from Diesel Creek and Sam from Scrappy Industries will be more than impressed see this working in a UK rally. Right, we'll go under the trees and look at some more working demonstrations. Oh my word, what have we got here? Fireman Sam. This is one of my picks of the show. A fully complete Norman genset. T300, look at that. That is beautiful, isn't it? Got some wood up with that. There you go, and a Manco doing what it was designed to do. Work its little bum off, look. He's got all this wood up yesterday, trailer load, and then all this today. And that heap over there has been cut up on the tractor. Proper little working display. Marvellous. Right, let's come through the gate here. We'll have a quick walk up the front of the tractors. Look at these ones. So this is, like I said, this is Woolpit Rally. And if you want some unusual things, come to Woolpit. Because this is where you get all your rare and unusual stuff. Beautiful. There's Saunderson's. There we go. Look at these. These are some truly magnificent machines. There we are. So we'll have a walk up the track. There's so much to look at here, but we will have a look round them all. Even if we just walk up the road. It's funny, isn't it? These tractors are so rare. You know, they're so rare. And then you get one show where there's a dozen of them. It must be a vast majority of what there is in the country all congregate at this one show. Of course, you have to excuse the wind. Here we have a little playpen. with some engines doing what they were designed to do. Massive a man cooler. 6 horsepower, gorgeous. The BAM Ford are certainly doing some work. That's running a line shaft which is running 2 machines. All that powered off that one little 3-horse, 4-horse engine. Yep, he's been cutting his shaft as well. Look, that's all coming out of that end. Little Ruston PT pumping some water. Hello, how you doing?
I'd like to introduce Mr. Fendew.
Sorry about that, I was just recognised. Oh, the little PT is for sale. Look, there we are. It's an unusual engine. Samsung. Old fire truck here, look. She's a beast, old wooden ladder on the top. There's more tractors here. We have some crawlers up there. Marshall crawler there, look. Here, well, there's father. And we have a Farm All A. Oh, Dad, you're on video. Yeah, you're on YouTube. There's a Farm All right. There's a bigger Farm All there. You can see that. It's nice to see side by side. You've got the little cub, and then you've got the much larger big brother, the Farm All M beside her. So you can see the difference in scale. Got some McCormicks, Browns. Nice to see them original like that. Oh, an Alice B. I do like an Alice B. They are really nice. Several little Alice B's here, look. Got an underslung attachment. Another little B there. Another little B. And then an Alice M, I think that is. The crawler, I believe, is the M. I think that's basically an Alice U with tracks. I may well be wrong there, Dave. You're going to tell me I'm all wrong, aren't you? But that's my understanding of it. It's basically an Alice U with tracks. There's a Brown. Another Brown. We're all the way. I think we've got the David Brown collection around this corner, look. There we go. There's always a lovely selection of stuff at this rally. I think this is actually one of my favourite rallies of the year. I do like coming to Woolpit. There's such a lot to do here. We've seen this one scores of times. It's still very nice every time you see it. The Renault tractor, little French orchard tractor, I'm guessing. Another Brown. Massey 203, the 1060 here. I'm not talking Crossley here, I'm talking tractor. Nuffield. Oh, look at the John Deere, look. And another little wiry John Deere, isn't that lovely? So you do get some nice unusual stuff here. What have we got on this end? Alistair. Algier, whatever that is, Algira, there we go. Let's have a look. Is it German? That looks German to me, look, there we are. Beautifully restored E27 here. Look at that. Beautifully restored, beautiful paint. And then you got another one, far more work and clothes. Another beautifully restored one. Well, here's where all your E27s are. There we go. There we go. And then we've got the obligatory Major with its box on the back. We have more Majors here. There we go, so we'll just have a look around the majors. You tend to find there's a lot of the same tractor here. What's unusual, we've got one with a third wheel. And there's something a little bit different. Look at that. Alright. We have the steam stuff. We see enough of them at Strumpshaw last weekend. We had a good detailed look around the steam stuff, so we won't enlarge on that at this show. The old car, and then we come round to more majors of various states of repair. One what looks totally original to one what's been totally restored to another what's been totally restored. And then we got one of the, I believe that's one of them four-wheel drive majors. Ford County, that's it. She got the 6-cylinder. She the big one. Look at them bad boys. Look at that. We have some Fergies. You have to have a grey Fergie. There we go. There's an American version of a Fergie. Is this an 8N, a 9N? I can never tell them apart. But you can see the similarities between them and the grey Fergie. But these were when Ford were in partnership with Ferguson. Before they fell out, they basically made the same tractor, and after they fell out, Ford went on to the 9N, 8N, blah blah. Super Dexters, another Alice, and another Dexter. There we go, lovely little, oh, that's an Orchard Alice. Look at that little Orchard Alice. Look how narrow she is. Really thin. Look at it. We have an array of grey Fergies. We don't need to look around these too much, do we? There we go, we have an array of grey Fergies here. Very nice indeed. We have the Army stand up the top. There we go. Alright, we'll have a walk around. Most of it now, I believe, is more engines than the fairground. So we're going to have a look about here. Some more steam. This engine's called the Old Chap. There we are. Right. Oh, big wheel. Me and my mate Matt, Norfolk Rag and Bone Man. We're going on that in a little while. Ah. What a lovely weekend it is.
Don't forget the opportunity to see both students this afternoon at 2:30 and at 4. Don't forget many places and things around the site are food for sleepers. There you can get burgers, you can get noodles, donuts, and of course fish and chips. And our bartender being run by Bars for Events is serving a lovely range of real ales. Spaghettis, all different fillings, tea coffees and soft drinks, that's spaghettis at the top of the arena, just on the corner. Well, just the message for an owner of a car, a Nissan registration KR66 UPC, KR66 UPC, and Nissan, you left your hazard warning lights on. So if you own that vehicle, a Nissan registration KR66 UPC, please return to your vehicle, you left your hazard warning lights on. So just a reminder there for the owner of a Nissan registration KR66 UPC, you've left your hazard warning lights on. Thank you.
All this rusty gold for sale. George, you need to have your stall here. Next year you need to get your bump a Woolpit. Your stall would go down an absolute treat here. There we are. There's a lovely little engine for sale on this trailer, which I believe is now sold. Look at that little benful. Sold for £1,500, but worth every penny because what a rare engine that is. Look at the magneto advance and retard on the sprocket. Absolutely gorgeous. And there's some bits and pieces in here. I say, George, you're missing a trick. Lovely. All the little odds and sods. I bought a little curiosity out of this box this morning, a little brass thing which I believe is a tabletop micrometer of some description. Oh, 2-cylinder mag there. That's interesting. Another one. Ah, there we go. Very interesting. Little mammoth. Remember these as a kid? Used to run them on the little steam engine. They used to be on like a big metal square. You had all the separate tools. I know! Oh, we're going for a start. They ain't going to start because we're on camera. No, look at that. That is a very, very rare engine. You don't see a lot of them about. She's away. There we go. Look at that. What a gorgeous little thing. Sweet as a nut, isn't it? Beautiful. I say, you do get some unusual engines here. Ones you'll never see anywhere else. Oh, Stuart 600, look. Beautiful. Yeah. Do what? I was going to say, that's behaving, isn't it? I do like that little dynamo one there. Ah, he's running a little electric fan on it, look. How interesting. You got... That's it, yeah. That's lovely, isn't it? Did it? That ran a 5.5-inch lathe, did it? Crikey. What up? Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah, I think I've seen it here before, isn't it? Yeah. Hit up. Been to Anglesey as well, has it? Yeah. Oh, right, you got a boat with it then? That's it, yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. There you go, what about that for a Wolseley? Wolseley guys, yep. Wolseley Alma. Extremely rare. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing well.
Good, good. Owning. There's Susie Jacuzzi. Where's Vim 10 gone? I told him that lovely pump ought to be knocked off that old petter and go on something decent. No, lovely little set. And I think we're just about at the end of the engines. Let's do a turn of it. Very nice. Right, I've got some fences to cross. A few more engines and we're done. Look how nicely restored and how clean these machines are. This gentleman has his stuff pristine. How you doing? You what?
You don't want me doing this on that?
I don't matter. People will like to see everything.
Last Monday.
Yeah.
So I see you.
Did you?
He weren't here.
Right.
Not at Scrumshaw. See what he put on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there on there.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
I knew where you were, Dad.
Oh, yeah, you saw, yeah. There's no escaping this. If people can see everything down there, yeah.
When you're about.
That's it. There's nowhere to hide. I creep up on you. That's it. Ta-da. got his shirt off. Whip, that's firing up a pit for. Whoa. Go on, girl. There you go. Whip, yeah. Ow. Sheet away. Sheet away, mate. When are we going on that big wheel? We're going to go on and pull that ship.
I'll have a coffee.
Tradition, I'll have a coffee with you. Alright. Ain't got any hot water left? Oh. Alright, mate. We'll have a coffee, then go on the wheel. That is the dear late Ron Wakefield's engine. Matt we just spoke to, that was his dad, but sadly passed a week or so ago. This is his dad's engine. Lovely. Here we are back to Armanco. Here we're on the motorcycles. We'll have a jam up, Bella set. Oh, there's more stalls, junk stalls. There is a lot to look at. Here. The old graves, that's nice. Lovely old motorcycles here. There we are. There's the motorcycles. And then we have a small array of cars again. There we go. And I think, guys, that is it. I think, guys, that is it for Woolpit Rally. I think we're done. I'll leave a clip on the end of me and Rag and Bone Man going on that big wheel. I'll drop that clip on the end. You guys are like watching us go green. We've already gone red from the sun, so going a bit green won't hurt either, will it? Right. Lovely to speak to you guys. I hope you enjoyed Woolpit Rally 2025. See you next time. Grab a cup of coffee now and go on the big wheel. Bye-bye for now, guys.